Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Healing Circle 23. It's a beautiful morning and an interesting morning, and we love divine timing. So I'm just going to light my candle because I've had a lot of glitches this morning, and I want to make sure that we have the white light going. So let's just move over here for a second. Alrighty. Here we go. We have special guest today, Jan King, and hopefully she will be joining us live here on the Google Plus YouTube. And if there's any more glitches, she'll be on at 10:30 on Google Plus, no, on Blog Talk. Just trying to get myself together here because I just spent an hour and a half trying to get Janice the link so that she could be present with us. So she's typing that enormous long link in now because I couldn't cut and paste it for some reason. So once Jan is on, if anybody wants to call in, the number is 347-989-8446. So I'm just gonna continue talking and see if she joins us. And we did make an agreement that if she didn't make it in, that she would call at 10:30. So we got that all set. So, and we have a great conversation planned. We're going to be talking about parallel universes, which is really exciting. And I don't want to really go into it because we'll be talking to Janice. So while we're waiting for Janice, why don't we pull a card and see what's going on for today? There's a lot of things going on energetically and with the planets. So let's get going. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. All right, let's choose the top card and see what comes up for today while we wait for Jan. Feminine. Ooh, this is really cool. This would be a great card to come up too when Michael Harris is on with us. I allow my feminine nature to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity. And this can be used appropriately for both men and women, because men, as you know, because we've been talking about it, need to step in more to their female side and balance their female energy. And women need to step more into their femininity. Not all of them, because some of them are there, but a lot of them. I know personally for myself, raising 3 children on my own, a lot of times my masculine side, my male side was more prominent because of having to be both parents, the mother and the father. So once my children moved out of the house, I beefed up my feminine side, and by wearing more bracelets, more earrings, wore dresses and skirts. So I'm wondering if Janice is going to make it here. It'd be really cool if she did. But just in case she doesn't, so that we can get more into the conversation that we're going to talk about with Janice, why don't we do the water blessing now? And that way we'll have that out of the way. And I've got my water ready. So if you have your water ready, if you have a water bottle, please take the cap off. And it's ready. And if we have time, we'll do it again on Blog Talk, where we normally do. So let me take a sip first. So it's been really interesting being a witness, lately, because there's so many planetarial things going on. And every summer or every July, we always have this planetary lineup, but particularly this year, this time, it was very powerful in the ways of a lot of people going more within and discovering more truths about themselves, more things that they need to let go and just be, and gifts and abilities. A lot of people have been vibrating. I've been vibrating. A lot of people have been having a lot of Kundalini experiences and misinterpreting them as a sexual experience. So, which can happen. So, for those of you who are having Kundalini experiences and your body's really vibrating and you have all this extra energy flowing, there's a bunch of things that you could do. You can, if you have a partner or a spouse, of course, you can be intimate. You can put your hands on an animal to dispense some of that energy, which is good energy. You wouldn't be hurting anyone. You could put your hands on someone's shoulders. You could go outside and sit on Mother Earth and put your hands on the earth and offer some of the extra energy to Mother Earth. You can take a bath with sea salt or Epsom salt or any other kind of salt that you have, because salt water is grounding, but salt water is not only just grounding, but it's also purifying. That's why when people go into the oceans, they feel so good, and that's because salt water is healing. And I think it's really interesting that when we tear, we have salt that comes out. So let's just see. I'm wondering if Janice is here. I don't know. But if she is, we will find out. What is the screen share button? Should I press it and see what happens? Let's do it. Okay, just in case Janice is hanging there waiting for us. Oh, no. That's not what we want. So, I don't know if Janice is here or not. So, we'll just keep talking, because I don't see her, and she would be down here with us. We would be able to see her. So, let's see. What can we talk about? Well, I'm a little stumped because, I have, like I said, Jan King coming on, and we're talking about parallel universes. And it's really a great subject because, and I'm excited to talk about it. And I don't want to talk about it until we have Janice here. So, since it's already 10 after 12, I'm going to assume that she's having trouble getting in. and know that she will be on at 12:30. So anyway, with this new energy that is going on, it's a really good time to sit down and write what you want, because saying it is the sound vibration that you put out there, and the writing of it. And I use pencil a lot, because I even when I use pens too, but when I'm doing my goals or my creating, my manifesting, my writing, I use pencil. So that way I'm using the most natural resources that are earth friendly when I am doing my writing. So, so we would like to talk about love. And I'm flipping here because I'm beginning to channel. And a lot of people with this, with these intense energies happening with this planetary lineup and Venus and Saturn, there's a lot of love being stirred. And it's time, yes, for unity and love of all, but it's really important for you to love yourself. And it's really important to start communicating. This time is so precious on communicating your needs. What do you need? Communicating your desires, communicating what does not feel right to you. And that means to partners, to friends, to family. And a lot of times it's the hardest to communicate with family. A lot of people, a lot of families are stuck. There's a lot of people that are waking up in the families and trying to help the rest of the family members wake up. And it's not happening, and it can get frustrating. And if the family members or even friends give you a negative response, then energetically, you're going to possibly, depending on where you're at with self-love, take on their energy towards you as a negative influence. And in that case, then you would just take a few moments to go inside, and whatever energy is sent to you, you send it back with love. Any energy that you have sent to them, you retract back to yourself. Everyone is in their own time of waking. Do not allow yourself to become frustrated over the places of where human beings are right now. Take, for example, the struggles that are going on right now in the southern parts of the United States. There's lots of disputes going on whether or not they should take down the Confederate flag. Well, I'm not really going to get into it because I'm not into politics. But if humanity is looking to change the world back into unity of all races, all colors being accepted for who they are and what color their skin is, then I would think personally that anything out there that holds a three-dimensional vibration energy would need to be removed if that's what if we are trying to create peace and harmony, maybe wouldn't it be really nice that if someday when the whole world came together, if we had one flag, a unity flag, maybe it says unity on it, maybe it's a rainbow flag with the word unity for one world on it. You know, that would be kind of cool. I think when we get to that level, it's going to be really good because everybody will have stepped into a place at that time of complete divine trust and surrender. There's still so many people walking around in the fear modes. And it doesn't help if they read the newspaper or watch the news, because they're always creating ways for humanity to be in fear and to not move on and to linger in the struggles. So instead of getting angry about something that you see on the news or in the paper, send the love. See it as it's shifting and changing. We know that there's lots of power in prayer. And a lot of human beings have come to into this realization. And if many, many people around the world set their intentions every day, even just for 20 minutes every day, if we could synchronize 24/7 around the clock, because, you know, we're all on different time frames, that if everybody intended world peace, world harmony, everybody living in love, the freedom to be your true self, whether you're heterosexual, if you're gay, if you're a lesbian, if you're a transgender, whether you're black, red, yellow, white, Jewish, Catholic, born again, Jehovah, Buddhist, any of them. When we can all sit down and have a meal together, that's when I think we will have accomplished heaven on earth. But if everybody around the world who is awake and who would share with other people sat down and set their intentions every day, intending that that divine white energy is coming down from the Creator, beaming on Mother Earth, filling Mother Earth with peace, gentle, loving peace, filling the animal kingdom, the bird kingdom, the water kingdom with healing and peace, wrapping all of humanity, every human being, in healing and peace. Wow, we could really shift the world. And what an awesome time to start with all these planetary lineups. And August is going to be just as profound in an intense way. And we're assuming that Janice was not able to get in, to come in live. She will be calling in about just under 10 minutes. We will be taking a break in 6 minutes and calling into Blog Talk Radio. The fear modes that a lot of people are going in, it's very interesting to me to be a witness. Personally, I do not watch that much TV, very little. And I noticed that when there's some major events going on in the world, such as this planetary alignment, which energetically is giving humanity a time to step up more into their God self and their gifts and abilities. It seems that that's when the media or television promotes more fear to distract humanity from waking up. And I find that very interesting. I think that that's part of the reason why sports was created, probably even the Olympics. You know, a lot of people don't realize that during the football season, especially during Super Bowl Sunday, a lot of laws are signed in, and a lot of laws are changed during the Super Bowl. And that's because people are busy paying attention to the Super Bowl instead of what's really going on. So, I would like to mention that I have joined a site called spiritualbistro.com, and you can register and join for free. And there's several of us members on there, and we promote our products. And then you can join any of the group pages, or you can join my group page. And it is kind of like a forum where we can discuss anything from the ascension symptoms to I've got my gifts are turning on. How can I stabilize them? How can I work with them without being tricked by dark energies? People who have had gifts their whole life, maybe people who are looking to learn more, to expand and open themselves. So it's a versatile form, and it would be awesome if you felt like joining. You don't have to check in every day, but every couple of days would be nice because there's some conversations going on right now. And when you if you click on to join my group, it's going to take you to a site that says spiritual guidance. So that is where you would also register to join in my group. And I have some meditation audios up. I also just posted, it's going up today on the bistro and my website at www.geneofdivinehealing.com. And it is a class called Sacred Space. There's a lot of information in there about creating altars in sacred space, creating sacred space within, besides altars in your home. There is a meditation exercise to help you center and balance before you sit down at your altar. And there's a special gift from the Ascended Masters personally for you. And that will be up on the spiritualnetworks.com and my website today. I'm really excited about it. I'm also in the present company of creating another audio class. Last year I went to the Florida Keys and I did this I am stepping into your God self DNA gifted presence. So I have written that up and I'm going to be putting that on an audio class, and that'll be really exciting. And after that, I'm going to be doing a series with shamanism. So in about one more minute, we're going to take a break and bring on Blog Talk and bring on Jan King, because I'm excited to bring her on, and I know she's waiting to come on also. But the shaman series will be really cool because, you know, we'll have one class where we'll be doing journeying to the underworld, the middle world, the upper world, journeying to reconnect with your childhood power animals. Who are your power animals now? We'll be doing death and dying journeys. And what I mean by that is when you completely disassemble yourself energetically and rise through the ashes like a phoenix and become more one with yourself, with your soul within you. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back while I call into Blog Talk, and we shall return. Welcome back, everyone. And Blog Talk will be announced.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, Blog Talk listeners. Welcome to the Healing Circle 23. We have an amazing special guest with us, Jan King. Jan, welcome.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
It's so nice to see.
How are you?
I'm wonderful, and I'm so glad to have you here because I'm anxious to talk about our subject.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Well, we will definitely have you on again, and we will make sure that we get all those Google Plus glitches out of the way.
I tried to do the whole thing. I got to the Google, but it said it wasn't connecting. Whatever that means.
Well, you know,
So it didn't want me on there.
Well, I know you're going to agree with me, and this is good for our listeners. Before we go into the subject real quick, is that we have learned to go with the flow of divine intervention, divine timing. And when I first came on the show, Jan, I announced to everybody that, you know, we were having some glitches, and that, you know, we were working really hard for you to be present on the Google Plus and YouTube, and we were just going to wing the first half hour of the show in hopes that you would make it in, and if not, it would be okay, and we'd see you here at 10:30.
That sounds interesting. I tell you, well, maybe it's because of all the things that were happening, you know, with the stock market on Wall Street, and who knows how many other glitches there were in the world the past couple days. So, you know.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's a good point, because yesterday there was a couple of glitches going on with the Wall Street was down for 4 hours, and there was a few other glitches, and I know that there was some major stuff going down in Europe. So, you know,
yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff happening, and you're right. Janice, that, you know, we have to take each moment with a grain of salt.
I think so. You're right.
So anyway, we're talking
I'm happy
about,
to be here.
I'm sorry?
I said I'm happy to be here.
And I'm happy you're here too. And we're talking, Janice and Jan and universes.
You know, I don't know. I was thinking that when we were discussing this and we were throwing it around, I think that maybe I don't know if there's any past lives. That's what I was thinking about last night. I don't know why it came to me like that, but and I think, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know what the story is and how do we know this. But I feel that maybe it's all about parallel timelines. And we break out little pieces of ourselves when we make a decision or a choice. And I haven't explored it totally. I know bits and pieces about parallel life. I know a lot about, because I explored past life through doing hypnosis and all that kind of stuff. And I've done parallel life regressions. But the thing is, I think after thinking about it a lot, I don't know how you feel, Jean, but I think that it may be just parallel lives. I mean, it could be all of them, but sometimes I think that we could go off, like we go to into this place, and when we make a choice, what if part of us stays where we were doing what we're doing, and then we make a choice, a decision to do something else? So don't we leave part of us there? Maybe part of us is still there because we like that. Maybe we were in a job, and the job, we got out of the job, but the part of us is still learning things in a job type situation, whereas now we're exploring something else. I don't know. It's very fascinating, and I don't know what you think about it, but I think that there's some kind of, I know where there is parallel. I know, because you know why I feel this way? Because I always felt that I was, for instance, I don't think this is a past life because it keeps popping up. Why does it pop up all the time? Where did I learn how to do certain things? You know, I'm not saying you can't bring it from the past like astrology says, and which I believe part of that is true, but I think a lot of it comes from being like I don't know. For instance, what if you're in what if you're a parallel life, and your parallel life is you were in World War II? It wasn't past. It's still going on. It's there. It's already done, but you learned something and you brought it forward. But many times I felt like I was a resistance worker in World War II for the French. I don't know why. I never did a past life. I never did a regression on it. But every time I see something like that, I always was pulled to read about it, and a movie about it I'm entranced with it. Yet on the same token, I also related to World War II in Germany, where I have no idea why, but I was, and I feel like you have bits and pieces of you throughout our whole life, our whole time on Earth, whether it's 4,000 years ago or 4 million years ago. You know, there's little pieces going along the way, and it could be all parallel, and we're all doing it at the same time. And sometimes, you know, when you feel like you're all of a sudden you start to cry. Well, it could be a couple different things. But the other day I was thinking, I was bawling over nothing. I saw something on TV. It just triggered something. And it had to do with something in another time frame. And there's no reason. I have what's my connection? I don't know, but I was bawling. And I'm thinking, oh my God, now that I've started to look into this a little bit more, I thought, well, maybe it's a parallel life. Or something, you know, something was bleeding through from that lifetime and came to me here. So that's, I don't know. Tell me what you think about it. I don't know what else to say about it. There's so many things, so many different directions you can go with it.
Well,
and I just wanted to, tell me what your take on it is.
Well, there's a lot of it that I agree with you on. And what I want people that are listening to understand is that it has been founded that by science that we have parallel universes. Now, many of us who are awakened have been already aware of it, as like Jan is mentioning right now. I also think that in present moment, present time, there are like this morning, I made a decision to go on the computer to invite Jan to be on the show, and here she is on the show, right? So there is another aspect parallel of me that was successful to get Janice on the Google Plus YouTube, where you also are on that parallel timeline where people can see you actually right now.
Right.
Okay, so why the glitch for us today is interesting if on another timeline, another dimension, it is fulfilling what we wanted to do here. I also think that let's say we decide to turn left, but we were deciding, should we turn right, should we turn left, should we turn right, should we turn left? Okay, well, I'm going to turn left. Now there's another parallel split of us who turned right. So what happens with
that?
Well, I'm thinking that, all right, so now hypothetically we got two splits, right? So I turned right, I turned left over here. My parallel alternate turned right. So now we're each making another decision, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna go straight, and the other, so okay, so the other one is gonna say I'm gonna turn around, right? So now they've branched out again. So I'm thinking that the web of branching out with each choice that we make makes another split. Now, I'm not saying that this is fact. This is my interpretation personally. Well, what I shared with you the other day, that I sat down and I was doing a healing on myself, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to invite my parallel altered selves that are having this same issue. Now, normally, from what I've read, and I don't know if you've read this too, Jan, or if you're already aware of this, is that if we communicate with those other selves on the other dimension parallel, we can freak them out, okay? Because they might not be consciously awakened, okay? So what I did, well, they could be, but then they might not. So this is how I handled it. What I did was I asked my higher self, which ones have this struggle for the subject that I wanted to heal, and which ones are ready to consciously heal this. And then once I knew how many were consciously ready to heal this, then I said, okay, is it in my highest good to contact and connect with them so that we can all heal together this issue and affect all the timelines in the present moment? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But I have another take.
Okay, give it to me.
If I may. I think my feeling about it, my interpretation possibly is another direction, is that there are timelines that we have that the other part of me may be, say, doing something grand. I don't know what they're doing. Or they may be financially really well off. why not tap into that? Why not put the cord out to this timeline, saying we don't have to ask, it's us. We have to just say, would you like to, would you accept this from me? Because, or just send it to them, and now they'll, so that you can pull the energy to you that they have, that maybe we aren't there yet. Maybe they've already succeeded in what we're trying to do. And that's not saying it's true or not true. I don't know that. But the thing is, why not give it a shot? Like, especially if there's, as we always talk about the heart and the cords for love and all that kind of stuff. So why not send it out to one of your parallel lives and say, may I'd like some energy, heart energy for my love life, or for financial. It would be like root. You'd say, I need some financial support here. You're doing so well. Can you send me back the energy so that I can expand my world financially and do it whatever chakra is indicated for that particular energy. So whether it's creative stuff or if it's financial or love or sex or communication, any of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So we can reach out and say, I'm sure the ones that are successful, and I think, or maybe some are just doing mundane things, and they may ask us, or we may send to them the energy. But most of the time it's us receiving because they've already done it.
Correct.
I think most of them have done it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And the reason why I asked my parallel alters if they were open to healing this was because I was talking specifically about healing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, that because I wanted to see if they were ready. Because, I try to think of everyone.
I know. But isn't it funny that sometimes, have you ever found that, I think this is like a parallel, some kind of shift or something, that one day you're doing something and you're so interested, and all of a sudden something shifts and you start to feel ungrounded and you don't know which way to go. I mean, I've been there. I'm sure you've been there.
Yep.
And you're thinking, I do all this stuff, yet where am I going now? But then again, I guess the bottom line is you can take any of the, what should I say, the old goals, throw them away, because obviously maybe one of your parallel timelines have already done this. And you've already think, well, do I need to do this? Why am I doing this? So it could be happening like they already did it and you thought, oh, I don't have to do this anymore. Or you're doing something, there's something shifting. And because all of a sudden you feel confused and you're walking around like, what's my purpose? I'm sure you know what I'm saying, because
yes.
All of a sudden I don't know what my purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something shifted and probably the whole parallel thing is now under a new direction, in this lifetime, and on this timeline, on the one we're on now.
Yes, I agree with you. And I don't think I
expressed that clearly, but because I'm not unclear. And I know that for a fact that if something's shifting, a lot of times confusion comes in.
Yes.
And that's also part of, and I think that's part of the. When you look at a chart in astrology, it's not about, well, this is what's going to happen. No, it's telling you what is a possibility. So in case you are confused, what do you do about it? Or how do you handle it? That kind of thing. That's what I think astrology is. It's not about what it is. It's about what should I do now? When you look at your chart, what do I do? Here's what's happening. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It brings it up so you can address it and release it.
Yes, and let me add, on that note, adding to that, let me ask you this question. Since we're talking about parallel alternates,
Yeah.
Do you think then that we have one original astrology chart, or do you think each one would be different?
No, I think there's one. I think it's one, and you just go off and do. I don't think the astrology. I think it's just basic.
Okay.
Basic. And then, but the thing is, it's all lifetimes. I think it changes. I think it does change. I think we all go through different. We're all different signs through the ages. We all learn to be like. Okay, I'm a Taurus, but there was a time when I was a Scorpio, or I was a Capricorn, or I was a Sagittarius. The same with you. You could, as a Sag, you could be a Virgo, or you were all. We've come through the whole gamut of signs. That's what I think that's part of the process. So maybe that's a good question. I don't know if this is true, but I think, well, maybe somebody on one of the timelines is something else, is a Leo, or it's a Aries or something.
Exactly. That's what I'm asking you. Thank you.
So I'm not saying it is. I'm saying the possibility is pretty high that it can be. Yeah.
So that would be interesting too, because that would mean that we have the opportunity to experience all astrological signs in one moment.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. And don't you find sometimes that you're well, I don't know, say because we'll say you Sagittarius. Okay, you're a teacher. You could philosophize. You could do a lot of things like that. You like exploring, and you're out there. Okay, in sharing with a lot of people. That's a typical Sagittarius. Okay, so parts of you are saying, but yet, say another in your chart, there's the south node is in Aries, which means that that's what you bring into this lifetime, the gifts you bring, or how these things that you've learned in the past, which is how to go out there, how to be the leader, how to be the independent one, how to be the trailblazer. Okay, but that's not what you're here for. You're using that impact, that influence to take you to a new place where you're sharing, you're in more like partnerships, you're keeping it balanced, you're keeping it flowing, and so that other people can realize that, gee whiz, we can share, we can be open to each other, and we don't have to fight each other, more into a peaceful type of environment. That's what I'm just using that as an example of some things. So some other timeline might be, I don't know this. I don't see, there's not a lot of things out there which I have found with astrology and parallel lives. But I'm just thinking about general interpretation in your chart. Perhaps the timeline would have you, maybe your lesson or your things that you have to face this time, the issues that come up, maybe somebody else has already done this on a different timeline. You've already gone through it.
Right.
So, but some things maybe are so intense this time because maybe they already did it and you haven't gotten there yet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating on that. But I think the possibility is good that we're like the experience of all the different types of signs and different aspects, and yeah, I think that's what we're all doing the same thing, but maybe coming from a different part of us.
Yes, and that's why I think it's really interesting that the more if we choose to sit in meditation and take advantage of those alternate parallels.
Oh, absolutely, because I am guaranteeing that if you did that, your life will shift. Absolutely. People say, well, how could you be so sure? Because you just know. Because it doesn't matter. You talked about you made a choice. You made the left and the right. I'm going left. You're going. Part of me is going I'm making this turn. I'm making this fork in the road. I'm at a fork in the road, and gee whiz, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to go left. But there's part of me that's probably going to either stay or go right also.
Correct.
Okay? Or what about, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And so then the one who went to the left is having their experience. The one who went to the right is having their experience. And then the one who decided to just stay and procrastinate is having their experience of not moving forward.
Right. I have an interesting little thing that I found in my notes from a long time ago. It said to, you can go back to a time, think of a time when you made a major decision, and think of what like if you were in meditation or visualization or something, think of a time where you made a decision, whether you got married, whether you went to school, whether you got divorced, you got started a career, you had some health issues, surgery, whatever, and you could see how would you feel if you made a different decision? Like, what if you didn't marry the person you married, okay, and you chose somebody else? Where would that have taken you? It's good to think of that because it probably is happening, okay? The decision you made to do one thing, but you had a choice, so you chose this person over that person. So what would have happened if you chose that other person? Where do you think you would be today, or what would have happened?
Right. And some people would confuse that as dwelling in the past, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about dwelling in the past, right, Jan? We're talking
about the past.
Right. It's about the present moment. Parallel alternatives is what we specifically mean.
Yes. And the thing is, if you looked at what decision you made, because that decision, that choice, even though you made that one choice, you still may have made that other choice. Because you might have that parallel existence happening right now that you didn't make that choice, but your parallel, the parallel part of you might have made that decision and went that way. So what is happening? Are they there? So you can reach back and talk to them. You can reach across. You can reach out to talk to them.
Yes.
Messages will come. You know that in meditation or visualization.
Yes.
It's amazing sometimes, or something will pop up, like somebody will say something and go, "Oh my gosh!" It just was so synchronicity. It just appeared because you needed to hear it.
Well, yeah,
so,
and just
you feel that way?
Yes, and do you agree that how like sometimes we'll like meet a complete total stranger for the first time, or even maybe not have a conversation but an eye exchange, and you feel like you've known that person your whole life? And I wonder if part of it is incarnation experiences, but then other parts of it, I think, that we're already friends on the other parallel line.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think that's good. That's good. Yeah, that person, it could be either somebody that you know in that other life, that other parallel timeline. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And we happen to meet physically in this timeline, and we may not know that we already know each other, but we know there's a connection. On some level, we know each other, but consciously, we really don't know each other yet. But we feel we do. I'm wondering if taking away the reincarnation, if it also applies to us already knowing each other on the alternative parallel line. And you're saying you're agreeing with that. So Jan, listen, I am like so excited that you were here, and like this show we could rock for like a couple of hours, I think. But there's about There's 2.5.
There's a lot of things to say about this, and I think bottom line is that I think maybe the reincarnation thing, which a lot of people say poo-poo about, they don't want to talk about it, which maybe it's because they bring up reincarnation. It's presented to the world because how will people feel if we're talking about parallel timelines or alternate realities? Come on, most people can grasp the and I'm saying this because at one time I'm sure there are people that, like, I always was open to anything, so tell me, I'll be there. But the thing is, a lot of people aren't, and I think that's because there was so much conditioning.
Absolutely.
Okay?
And you know what? I'm going to stop you there, Janice, because the show's going to end in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And I want people to know how they can find you and who you are. So please do that.
90 seconds.
Because we will have you back.
Well, thank you. JANAIS.wordpress.com, my astrology blog. And I am on Spiritual Bistro. I'm not quite finished putting up my stuff, but I'll be there shortly. So I'm sure you know that Jean's on there too, and so that's why I said I mentioned that I'll be one of the spiritual people on there also. 60 seconds. Thank you.
And they can find you on Facebook too.
Oh yeah, Facebook Jan King.
Yep. And in September you're on.
Jan King.
Yep. And in September you're on The Unseen World.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's not.
All right. Well, then we won't announce that right now. Okay. Well, then I might
have my own thing. I might be doing my own thing in September.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Then we can do shows back and forth. All right. I'm going to say goodbye, but I'm not hanging up yet. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. We've had a great show with Jan King. I'm so excited because I know that she'll come back and we will expand on this conversation and more. God bless you. Aho. Namaste. Have a very blessed, joyful day. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, Google Plus and YouTube listeners, we will see you next week. And thank you for being here. Namaste. Aho, many blessings, and God bless you. And next time we hope to have Janice on here live. Bye-bye.